So in this episode, we're going to soften some of these square edges utilizing the MFK 700 and the Vac Sys. Let's get to it. To soften the edges on the parts for our table, I'm going to be utilizing the MFK 700. I've got a small round over bit in here, and I'm going to be using the vertical base. Something else I've added to it that comes with the MFK 700 is this chip catcher base. It collects all the dust and debris from the underneath side of the router. This goes on pretty simple. A little trick that I've learned when you're putting a lot of our tools together, if you look, there is a little divot in the one pin. If we look over here, there's a thumb screw. That's what's going to lock the router onto the base. Always make sure those two line up. That slides on, it locks into place. So before we get started, I need to adjust the height of my base to make sure I'm not taking off too much or too little with that bit. It's pretty simple to do. You just have to loosen this front knob and then the large knob on the side. You don't want to loosen this one. This is what just locks it to the base. So once I have that done, I usually just take a block of wood and I set it right on here so I can see right where the base is going to intersect with the router bit itself, and then I just raise and lower that bit till it's just taken off right what I want. I'd like to take off too little and too much, because I can always adjust it later. Lock that into place, lock the front one, and then we're ready to go. If I need to micro adjust the height of the base, that's what this green knob is for. So once I've got my large knob here and the thumb screw in front loosened up, I can adjust this. If I want to take off more material, I turn it towards the plus side. If I want to take off less material, I turn it towards the negative side. Then I can lock it into place. I'm ready to go. If you want to know more about the MFK 700, you can visit Festool USA's YouTube channel, and you can see several videos on the MFK 700 there. So now that we've got the router all set up, the next thing I need to do is figure out how I'm going to clamp everything down. I could use our rapid clamps and the table to hold it to the table. That's just going to be more time consuming, so what I'm going to utilize is our Vac Sys. I've changed out the clamping head to a smaller piece that will be narrow enough to hold our small legs. Then all I have to do is just turn it on, clamp it into place, and I'm ready to go. So once I have one edge done, I can just flip it over and do the other edge. So when I start with the legs, I'm going to start on the taper side, obviously, but I don't want to go past where my taper starts. So I've taken the time and I've marked where the base of my router is going to be to start that round over. So now that I've got the legs done, I'm going to move on to the slats for the tabletop, and I'm just going to do all four long edges of that. I'm not going to touch the ends at all. Now that we've got all the slats rounded over, I'm going to do the aprons. I don't want to do all four long edges on this because the top side is going to be attached to the bottom of my tabletop, so I just want to do the two bottom long edges. So we've got the roundovers done with our legs, our slats, and our apron pieces. I haven't forgot about these. These are for our picture frame. I'm going to wait till it's assembled, Because if I bring that router down here, when I get to the very end, that router base is not going to have a lot of material to sit on. So when I join the two pieces together, I'll have a nice flat surface. I can just bring that router bit and that bearing around the corner. It gives me a nice round over. Most of the prep work's done. Now we can actually see the whole thing coming together by using the domino. To continue the build video, click here or check this out. And don't forget to subscribe.